What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and baby, let's get into the drama of it all because we have a lot to talk about. It's a lot going on in Bravo. It's too much. Okay, it is too much. All right, so let's get into it. Like I said, it's a lot going on down at Bravo. All right, and we're going to discuss. So first up, let's talk about Real Housewives of Potomac because there was a Reality Blurb article that was released on March the 23rd, which would be Monday, and it got a lot of people talking, okay? Supposedly there it has been or will be a cash shakeup. Some people are returning that were either let go from the show or walked away from the show. And a couple of people got let go. Let Reality Blurb tell it, all right? So I'm not going to read the article, but I will definitely link it in the description box below if you would like to read it for yourself. I'm just going to read what a Twitter user by the name of Jersey Table Flip, because it's always going to be Twitter over here. I don't know. It's never going to be X'd, okay? But a Twitter user by the name of Jersey Table Flip basically summarized what the article was stating. So I'm going to read that, and then we're going to discuss. So it says this: the alleged cast of RHOP for season 11. It says, according to an insider from Reality Blurb, Giselle, Wendy, Stacey, Ashley, and Tia are all returning with Karen, Robin, and a new girl in the mix. Where Monique stands isn't clear. It's also not clear whether who will be a main or a friend. Then they followed up that tweet with another tweet saying this: according to Reality Blurb, Kiarna Stewart, Angel Massey, and Jazzy Redo Harris all weren't asked back for the next season of RHOP. So what y'all think about that? Let me know down in the comments, okay? But here's my thing. When it comes to the people that are alleged being asked back, Giselle makes sense even though she didn't get a package. I knew she was going to come back because, she's filming for the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, the 20th season. They weren't going to put her in that and then let her go from the show or demote her. So I pretty much assume that she'll be full-time. Wendy, she got all that stuff going on with this case. I think her trial actually starts in May, which is crazy because she's going to be filming and doing all of this at the same time. And the crazy thing about it is with Wendy, I've been hearing conflicting rumors and tea being spilled. I saw on someone's page who is known to be somewhat credible saying that Wendy is not returning back or she's quitting. And then this comes out and they're like, no, Wendy is coming back. So I don't know. That's why you have to take what we get with a grain of salt until they start filming, to be honest. But her coming back and then filming while she's on trial, it will probably, this is the thing, if Wendy does not go to jail, she's probably secured for the next 6 or 7 seasons of Real Housewives of Potomac. Because if she does allow them to film her while she's going on trial, girl, they're not going to want to get rid of her. It's kind of like, girl, you made a binding contract with Bravo and she gonna need it. She really is, because she gonna need them Bravo checks. And she probably can renegotiate a really higher salary, all right? Stacey, we knew Stacey was coming back. Anybody having a question about Stacey not coming back, girl, what are you doing? Stacey was definitely coming back. She had a stellar season 10, and she's the only housewife to ever be featured in Vanity Fair from this cast. This cast has been, this show has been on for 10 years, and nobody's has ever been featured in Vanity Fair other than Stacey. On top of that, girl out here doing press tours on Drew Barrymore by herself. Ain't nobody else doing that. So yeah, Stacey was coming back. Ashley, I need to know what type of blackmail she got on the people down at NBC Universal / Bravo and the production company. Because I feel like Ashley has given us all she can give. We have really followed Ashley's life. When she got on the show, she was 25. She's now, I think, Ashley's not 35. Ashley's 37. Yeah. So I guess that would mean when she started the show, she was 27, but she met Sharice's son when she was 25 and he was 15. Or maybe I could know, because she is hold on, let me check. How old is Ashley Darby? Oh yeah, Ashley's 37. Okay. So, but we've seen her life, like her being married, her having children, her getting a divorce. Like, I don't think Ashley has any much like else to give us. I mean, if she is coming back, I do believe she should be demoted as a friend of. Like, let her come in, kick up some dirt, and then let her leave. The fact that this season she had to resort to talking about stuff that happened years ago. We knew about Sheila and her deadbeat husband. We've been knowing about that since like season 2. And then you made it worse by bringing in your sister who's like 19 or 18 years old, freshly going to college. She had to grow up with the man. You at least got to leave eventually, but you have that situation, and then the whole Josh of it all. It's like, Ashley, we could and then Sharice's son. We could tell this season of Real Housewives of Potomac, you were grasping at straws because you ain't had nothing going on, girl. But yeah, if she come back, well, I mean, they saying she coming back, just demote the lady. Demote her. And then Tia. I thought Tia did okay for her first season. She didn't do anything like too offensive to the people. So I definitely think she should come back. Now, I will say with Tia, she can't be up underneath Giselle. Like, you're supposed to be this Nigerian princess. I need you to start acting like royalty and moving accordingly. Because being up underneath Giselle is going to lower your stock. That's what happened to Robin. Because I think initially, myself included, I really did enjoy Robin. But after a while, I got tired of the way that Robin was just always siding with Giselle or not taking a hard stance of being like, Giselle, no, you wrong. Like, you're wrong. Like, holding her friend accountable, that I just was like, yeah, get rid of both of them. Or at least get rid of one or the other. Because I would have been fine if Giselle got let go and we still had Robin on the show. But Giselle is more valuable to the network than Robin. So, of course, if they were going to break up the Green Eye Bandits, Robin had to go. So I'm hoping that Tia understands that and moves accordingly. We knew Karen was coming back. I don't know what she about to talk about. Is she really going to give us the real nitty gritty about being a drug addict and a drunk? Like, are you really going to be honest about your alcoholism? I don't know. And then Robin coming back, I think Robin should just remain as a friend of and call it a day. And then the whole thing with Monique and Robin being back should just be friends of. I was not like impressed by Monique's return. I knew it was going to flop, and it did. But I think it would be kind of stupid for them to like bring her back just to not bring her back for another season. Like, if I was Monique, I would feel used. But then again, she ain't really give us nothing. But maybe once she comes back as a friend of, maybe she'll like settle into it. Let's talk about the people that they're alleging were not asked back. That would be Kiarna, Angel, and Jazzy. Honestly, I'm indifferent to all three, meaning that if they're there, cool. If they not, cool. Like, they don't make or break the show to me. But I also understand why they would not be asked back, or why they would not want to come back, or why the network is just like, we good on y'all. Or if they do want to come back. Like, let's start off with Kiarna. Kiarna, to me, was given 3 opportunities. When we first met her during season 8, she was a friend of. She still to this day has one of my favorite confessional looks ever. Like, that is something that I would wear if I was ever on a reality show filming confessionals. Like, she looks so pretty and cute and chic, and I ate it up, all right? When she was like, my face. And I said, yeah, girl, because that face card don't never decline with Miss Kiarna Stewart. She may have a kind of personality, but beauty. Girl, beautiful. She is gorgeous to me. But she was great as a friend of, and I think they rushed too quickly to make her a full-time flute holder, especially with Robin being gone and then Candace walking away from the show. Like, I don't know if I guess they were like, we're scrambling and we're just like, let's just pluck her there. I do know people have that theory where she got a pity flute because she got into it with that lady with them ugly ass eyebrows. But I just, I don't know. I will stand by, like, yeah, they gave her a full-time position too quickly, because when we saw her during season 9, she was boring because she was following up under Karen, but also she was always crying or complaining about Greg because he would not treat her the way that she wanted to be treated. And you could tell that she wanted to be married to him. She wanted him to want her the same way she wants him. And that got old really quickly. And I think Kiarna internalized what everybody was saying about her online, because the common like thought of everyone who was watching the show during season 9 was that she was boring. They were like, y'all couldn't pick somebody else. So then we have her for season 10, and it's like, girl, calm down. Because I will say the first half of the season, Kiarna was on fire, but she also made herself look bad because the energy was too much. I think Kiarna could have saved herself if she reeled it in, because she was on like a level 10, and it was like, girl, this type of energy you're giving Stacey, knock it to like half of that, make it a level 5, and people probably would have ate it up. But all that, like my life, my business, my things, my everything, that was a lot. That was so much. And it was like, Kiarna, no one's jealous of a condo when they have a house. Like, no one, and you didn't even have like prime real estate in DC. Like, I think you lived like on the outskirts of the DMV area. Like, people were saying, girl, you lived in Baltimore, but I don't think you did. Because the area didn't look like Baltimore when Giselle went over to your place. But it was just like, yeah, you did too much. So her not being back makes sense. But also, if they bring her back, I think it would also make sense because she's going to be up underneath Karen. And Karen is going to like it because she wants allies. You know? So then let's move over to Angel. It seems that Angel kind of confirmed that she wasn't coming back. And what people are taking is that she's not coming back is because a couple, like, I think almost like a week and a few days ago, she posted about her birthday. She turned 29. And in her statement, it kind of gave that, like, yeah, she quit the show. And then she started liking comments that basically made it seem like, yeah, girl, she's not returning. So this is what she posted. She said, the season I wanted to skip became the soil God used to grow me. So she says, happy birthday to me. I am by nature a private person, and 38 acts something very different of me. I brought a level of visibility and scrutiny I could have never anticipated, and still I moved through it with my dignity intact and my self-worth unshaken. There was growth, there was lessons I did not think I needed, but received nevertheless. I carry with me the strength and the groundedness, the self-respect, and the quick knowing of women who nurtured me and those who have come before me or came before me. It says, here's to 39, a new era, a life that is layered and lived, a published writer, a television host, an award-winning outfitter, a certified gardener, a herbalist, a wife, a mother of 2, and now a return to sharing my life, my real life, the right way. And I think it's the part where she says, and now a return to sharing my life, my real life, the right way. Meaning that, girl, you're probably filming something else that is more geared to like what you are willing to showcase and what you want to showcase. I know a lot of people were like, Angel should just be on HGTV, and I agreed. She gives that. She gives like them remodeling homes or redoing somebody's garden, or her and Bobby, I guess, like going to different spots in America that have different outfitters, or it's like, I don't know, showcasing how to go camping. She don't give that she wants to be on reality TV in the sense of Angel's not willing to like get down and dirty. And when she does get down and dirty, it doesn't make sense because it's only targeted to certain people, and it's not a good look, to the point where people are like, girl, it's giving colorist. And I don't think that's what she is, but that's what it gave, you know, because she has so much smoke for Wendy, but not Giselle and Ashley, who was always playing in her face. On top of that, Angel gives reformed mean girl to me, because I do believe what Jazzy said to her was true when they were in Nevis, and Jazzy said that other wags reached out to her to warn her about Angel's behavior. If people are going out of their way to reach out to other people about how you move, girl, I believe you have been a menace to other people, and she met her match in Giselle. Because Angel really thought that they were going to welcome her with open arms, and Giselle was like, oh no, girl, like, you're going to have to work for this. You're going to have to work for it if you want my approval or want my respect or want my friendship. And I think Angel saw the play and was like, oh, so y'all don't like me like that. No. And also the way that she was willing to like trash and talk poorly about Stacey, and Stacey didn't do anything to her, let me know like, yeah, girl, you're a reforming girl. You are. You just met your match in Giselle and Ashley, okay? And then also she was liking comments. Somebody said this: happy birthday, beautiful. Reality TV is for those who need it. You are not a part of that group. Use it as a stepping stone and GTFOD. God bless you, Angel. So it was like, okay, so if you're not a part of the group, that means you're not a part of their group, so you're probably not coming back. But I do think it's funny. She ended up liking somebody else's comment on Instagram that says, Angel looks good, Giselle can go to hell. So, yeah. I don't think she's coming back. I'm cool with her not coming back because I really don't think Angel was going to redeem herself if she came back for season 11. I think she was going to follow Kiarna, which I think did her a disservice with her first time being on this show, that she would probably be up underneath Karen, and that probably wouldn't be a good look either. Yeah, I just don't think she should have came back. So if she comes back, like I said, we'll know when they start filming. I would be interested in seeing how she redeems herself, but if she doesn't, it makes sense because I don't think she would redeem herself. And then we have Jazzy. Jazzy's weird in the sense of like, when she first is on, like the first half of the season, she's on fire. And then as the season continues on, she fizzles out and it doesn't make sense. When we first were introduced to Jazzy, season 9, on fire. And I was like, oh yeah, she should definitely be a full-time flute holder. Then she went ghost. And then we find out, based off of rumblings online, that supposedly she was chasing after Darius, like following him, and messed up her opportunity. I don't know how true that is, but I could believe it. Jazzy gives pick me energy. She wants this WAG title. She wants this wife life. Like her confessionals, for the most part, like that confessional of her in the wedding outfit, I thought was cute to a degree. And then when she got on the reunion, it was cute to a degree, but it was like, ooh, girl, you are very much obsessed with being a bride. You love the illusion, the effects of being a bride. So it gives pick me. But the same thing happened with this season 10, on fire. Then as the season continued on, girl, what happened? You stopped making sense. It wasn't making sense, girl. So yeah, I just feel like you tried. It didn't work out. Maybe there's gonna be another like Netflix show that she can pop up on, since it seems like Jazzy is interested in being on reality TV. She just needs to be probably around WAGs, the same way Angel probably needed to be around WAGs, and they probably would have been more palatable to the viewership. But what do y'all think about this? Please drop down in the comments below and share your thoughts with me. Like, do you think what the Reality Blurb article is saying is true? Like, do you believe that these are the people coming back? Are you interested in the people coming back? And do you think these are the people that got let go? All right, y'all. So let's move over to Real Housewives of New Jersey, because the girls are coming back and I am surprised. And the reason why I'm surprised is because they've only been on pause for like a year and a couple of months. It's almost been 2 years, because I checked to see when the last episode of season 14 aired, and it was on August the 11th, 2024. But it just feels like it's been longer, and I feel like that's just like reality TV housewife time. I'm just like, do we really need them back? Like, I'm interested, but I'm also not interested. And I think that's because I just saw 2 sneak peeks of Real Housewives of Rhode Island. And y'all, I can't lie, I think I might be in love with that show, and it hasn't even aired yet. Like it's giving ghetto-ness. It's giving Jerseylicious. Do y'all remember Jerseylicious? Like, they just released stills of them for the after show. First of all, the chairs that they are sitting in, why are they so big? They're huge. On top of that, everybody is in like leopard print. It looked cheap. I said, girl, this is giving Jerseylicious. And then I saw a clip, no, 2 clips. It was of Alicia and her family, and then Liz was in that clip. And then the other clip I saw was of Alicia and Rosie. Mind you, I thought it was Kelsey. One of my mutuals was like, no, girl, that's Rosie. I'm going to need like a seating chart once we see these ladies, okay? But in the first clip of Real Housewives of Rhode Island that I saw the sneak peek, the first clip we have is of Alicia. She's at home with her fiance and her daughter. Her fiance's name, I think, is Billy. They've been like engaged for 9 years, okay? They moved from this area in Rhode Island called Cranton's, Rhode Island, to Providence, Rhode Island. We get this scene of Alicia's mom and her aunts in the car all complaining about Alicia not being in Cranton's anymore and moving to Providence. You would have thought Alicia lived an hour away. When they pulled out that map and it said that Alicia lives 15 minutes away, I said, what are we doing? Because they were carrying in that car. One of them ladies was like, I think it was the aunt in the pink. She was like, girl, I could have been at your house like 3 times over if Alicia lived in, like, we're driving so far. I said 15 minutes is too far for y'all. 15 minutes. Then they get to Alicia's house and they are all coming at Billy like, so when you get married? Like, why can't y'all get married back here? Like, because she does have like a beautiful backyard. And he was like, well, I don't know, ask your niece. And then Alicia, you could tell, was caught off guard and didn't know what this. She was like, "Nah, we're not gonna do that." And then the aunt, another aunt, was like, "So are y'all ever gonna get married? You know, I'm not getting any younger." I was like, "Oh, this is a lot. This is a lot." Then we go over to Liz's house, the one that looks like Dolores. We find out that she met her husband, I think his name is Jerry, at some like club, some nightclub or something like that. Jerry has 3 daughters. She helped raise those 3 daughters. Those are her daughters. Why are they related? She said when they got it together, it was around the time that like 23andMe and everyone was doing their ancestry and all of that stuff with like the DNA. They found out that they are like relatives, like a long, 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 long way down the line. And she's in one of the clips talking about, you want me to call you daddy, in front of his kids? And they are laughing at him because he looks so irritated. I said, oh, this is going to be chaotic. Then the other clip I see is of Alicia and Rosie. And when I tell you like Alicia was talking so bad about Joella, come to find out that Alicia and Joella, like Alicia has known Joella since she was in middle school. Joella's sister is actually really good friends with Alicia, and Joella's husband, Alicia and her husband actually, what's it called? I don't know what, I'm not Catholic, but she said something that I can't think of the name. I think she said they did communion together or they did something together that's associated with the Catholic religion. But you would have thought that Alicia would have had like some type of loyalty to Joella. She was like, no, Joella's mean. She's nasty. I said, whoa. Then we find out Joella invited everyone to her house and Rosie heard her talking trash. I said, oh, y'all are chaotic. And it does kind of give Old Housewives. So I'm just like, I don't know, with New Jersey coming back, y'all are probably not going to be able to be like, we're Italian anymore. And the women that they're saying that are supposed to be associated with the show now are like Black women or Latin women. So I feel like if Rhode Island does really well, they're going to be the new Italian show, and New Jersey is going to morph into something similar to Real Housewives of New York, where it's like a multicultural cast. Okay? But it does make sense why they brought back Dolores, Teresa, and Melissa, because they are the only 3 that have been doing stuff. Like, I saw, and shouts out to Sutton's Roller, they did like, what is everybody doing since the show has been paused? And really, Teresa has been on 6 different shows. She was on House of Villains, Special Forces, Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, Hell's Kitchen, Next Gen NYC, and the Members Only Palm Beach, which is on Netflix. Then you have Melissa being on The Weakest Link and Wife Swap. Dolores was on The Traders and Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Everybody else, meaning Jennifer Aiden, Margaret, Jennifer Fessler, Jackie, Rachel Fuda, and Danielle have done nothing when it comes to being in the media. So I could think that like people who are able to keep their faces out there would be axed back instead of just the people we haven't really seen. Okay. So let's get into who supposedly is supposed to be a part of the cast. So this was posted by Mr. Housewives, and it says this: meet the women allegedly joining the Real Housewives of New Jersey for season 15. So you have Gia Casey. That's DJ Envy from the Breakfast Club's wife. I've been hearing for like years that they have always tried to get her to be a part of the show, but she's always been like, no. I don't know if she would really do this show. Mainly because Gia gives to me like someone who likes to curate a narrative and have certain perceptions of what she's showcasing. And you can't really do that on Housewives because people will dig. And I'm wondering, is she going to want to relive the whole like your husband cheating on you with Erica Mena? Because people are going to bring that up. That's going to get thrown in your face. Somebody's going to do a whole digging about you. There's going to be Reddit threads. And I mean, there probably are Reddit threads about them as it states. But like, when it comes to housewives, you gonna get your own Reddit thread, okay? And it's probably gonna be some nasty work. So they're saying her and DJ Envy. Then you have this lady by the name of Natalie Ruffalo. I think she's friends with Melissa. She's pretty. I don't know much about her, but she does look like somebody Melissa would hang out with. Then there's another woman by the name of Amber. I think it's Sidabatai. Sabatai. Y'all know me in last names. We don't do well over here. But it looks like she is a wag. Her husband played, or still, he looks old. He got gray on his beard. It looks like he's a retired baseball player. And then, we got Teresa and Louie, then Melissa and Joe, and then Margaret and Paulie. Okay? So this doesn't excite me as a cast, but I guess. They're saying this is the alleged cast, but I would be pretty shocked to see Gia on there. I feel like this is just something that people are throwing out there to see if this is what people would be interested in. But like I said, if Rhode Island does well, that will probably take the spot of being our Italian show, because I think majority of that cast is Italian. And New Jersey will have to move to being like multicultural. Okay. Because a lot of people have complained about like New Jersey having different pockets and races of people. So they were going to have to give us something if they're going to reboot the show. But I'm also wondering, like, are they going to reboot this show with people who are willing to go toe-to-toe with Teresa? Because that's the thing. You need people who are not going to back down from Teresa. But I feel like nobody's going to really want to beef with her. But there's that. So now let's move over to the people who aren't being asked back and who have spoken out. So we have Margaret. So this was posted by Margaret the other day, where she basically says, she's not coming back to Real Housewives of New Jersey. And she wanted to just thank everybody who supported her. So let me play that clip for you guys.
To you. Hi, guys. It's the Marge. I'm dialing in. I have to tell you something that might come as a little surprise to you, but not for me. I've been thinking about a lot of different things, and I am moving on from the Housewives of New Jersey, so I don't look a little more glamorous for you. I've been in the talks with the network and Andy since December. We've discussed it, and I think the timing is right. A lot of things have changed in my life. I've been blessed to work on a different project. I'm on the set right now, and I realized I have to spend more time with my family, work on my designing, and just take a break and move on. So I also wanted to say I want to thank NBC Universal, Bravo, Andy, our production company, my cast, the good and the bad. I really do love you all. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. This will not be the last you guys see of me on television. That's not a threat. It's a promise. And I'm excited for all the new opportunities, and I'm grateful for all of you for supporting me for all these years. And you will see me very, very soon back on your TV screens. Mwah. Love you.
So after Margaret posted her video, Andy responded down in the comments on Instagram and said this: "No, thank you. What a ride. Also, I love your house and taste always and forever." So that was Margaret saying, thank you in her goodbyes. Mind you, she was not lying when she said that we would see her soon, because I think it's Kenya Moore, Tamar Braxton, Savannah and Julie Christie and Margaret, and I think maybe Brittany from the Valley and several other people are filming this show on Amazon Prime in the Dominican Republic right now. I don't know what it's going to be about, but it's going to be a hodgepodge of reality TV stars. So she definitely is like still working. So people who are interested in seeing her, like myself, I'm interested to see how she's going to interact with all those different types of people, have the opportunity to see her. Jackie also said something as well. So I'm going to pull that up for you guys. But first, I want to read what Bravo Snarkside posted. It says, Jackie Gold Snyder will not be returning to RHONJ, was offered a full-time, but feels the vibes are off. So let me play that video for you guys.
They actually offered me a full-time role in the next season, and I was like, you know what, the vibes are off. And yeah, that's what I told them. I said, yeah, the vibes are off. And that's when I said no. And yeah, so no, but in all seriousness, my kids filmed their 10th birthday on the show, and in 2 weeks they're turning 18. So it's been a really long run. I mean, in fact, my second season on the show was when I had their 11th birthday party in my driveway and served pizza, and it was so much fun. So it's been a really long, beautiful run, 6 seasons over 8 years. And I am so grateful. I had a lot of fun, and it left me with this big, beautiful platform to do really important work with and to do other projects with. And also, most importantly, it let me show eating disorder recovery in real time on, national television. And for that, I will be forever grateful. So most importantly, it let me show eating disorder recovery in real time on, national television. And for that, I will be forever grateful. And I'm not, worried for any of us. I know that there's tons of other shows out there right now. I've been getting calls from casting agents, have a bunch of other projects lined up. So stay tuned for that. But I will say this. My last 2 years on the show were very dark. I mean, the show got very dark. No one can deny that. And my last season on the show, there was a concerted effort by some people on the cast to ice out other cast members. And that whole thing ended up backfiring spectacularly. So the moral of the story, kids, is play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So stay tuned.
Jackie. And what I mean by that is, I do not believe that they were going to bring Jackie back. Jackie had really bad seasons after she got demoted to a friend of. Those last 2 seasons, like she said, how it got dark, it was dark, but also, Jackie, you did not make yourself look good. A lot of people that rode for you discarded you so quickly because you went on Teresa's side. And mind you, I do believe that Jackie and Margaret had a falling out. I feel like the best way that Jackie could have played this is by just being neutral with the group, or maintaining a surface level friendship with Margaret, or a relationship. But the moment that she jumped ship and went to Teresa, a lot of people felt like Jackie switched up, and it felt inauthentic and disingenuous when it came to her relationship with Teresa. It looked like she was sucking up. And I do believe her when she says about there was an effort to get people off the show and ice people off the show. As much as I like trout mouth pigtails Margaret, I could tell that she was trying to get Teresa off the show. And I don't understand why she ever thought that was going to happen when New Jersey is Teresa's show. That lady went to prison on that show, lost both of her parents on that show, birthed her kids on the show, husband became her ex-husband and went to jail on that. That is her show. That's her show. Her brother and her sister-in-law are on that show. If they were never going to give Teresa a show by herself, like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, because I still don't understand how Kim Zolciak got Don't Be Tardy for the Party for 9 seasons. Nobody was watching that show. I know them ratings were garbage. But if they were never going to give Teresa her own show, Margaret should have found a way to play the game. Like my daddy always says, sometimes you got to play the game so you can win at the end, girl. You got to make smart decisions. And Margaret didn't make smart decisions. She didn't. And here we are. But Jackie, I do not believe that Jackie... Jackie, girl, they was never going to ask you back. You were a friend of. They weren't going to ask you back, girl. You might make a guest appearance here or there. No, I think Teresa's going to discard you too. I bet y'all haven't even spoken to each other like that. Yeah, girl, no. So then the last video I'm going to play for you guys is Jennifer Aiden. So this was posted and it says this, and she posted this in her Insta story. It goes to say, don't need a show to be a housewife in every sense of the word. Be happy for me because I am. And I will say, I don't follow any of the housewives, but what I have seen them post of Jennifer, when I say what I've seen posted, I mean the blogs and stuff like that, she does look happier and she does look healthier, okay? Now, I'm going to play a video clip from her YouTube channel. She has a podcast called TV Gold, and she's talking about not being a part of the show. So let me pull that up for you
Just guys. So you know, with the housewife stuff, once I unfollowed that blogger and stopped really watching anything that had to do with housewives, it just cleared my algorithm. I mean, at this point, my algorithm is really just dresses for a wedding, curly hair routine, and Taylor Swift. Oh, and Parasites. Yes, I've been in the deep dive of Parasites, which is another episode that I have, so make sure to go check that out. But yeah, that's pretty much my algorithm. I have no idea what people are saying about me, good or bad. When I do find out about it, it's usually because somebody sends it to me. And again, I don't care. It's like Taylor Swift says, quite frankly, if people want to talk about you, it's none of our business. Yes. All right. So to everybody's question, no, I wouldn't have gone back even if they asked. I'm totally fine with it. I'm not distraught about it at all. I don't need a TV show to tell me that I'm a housewife in every sense of the world, even down to my slipper. Okay? I'm a housewife. I got kids. I'm doing the mom thing. It's my number one job. I'm so grateful to have this life. Truly, life is good. Oh, the cast. So right now, I'm loving their decision of this new cast. And before I get into that, I just want to say, I'm very happy that Teresa made up with her brother and her sister-in-law. I've always been such an advocate of that. You know what? Family has drama. You know, sometimes you got to compartmentalize and take one for the team. You know, you don't have to always like get in deep dive with your family members, especially if you know that like something could happen where it could trigger you. You know, just want to keep it on the surface, and you know, hopefully it grows into something good. I really hope this time that it's for good, and I think it's great. I think it's absolutely wonderful that it's Melissa, Dolores, and Teresa without me and without Margaret. We cannot be in there. Can you just imagine me being in that show and then like, oh my God, I have to make up with Melissa again? I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to like have to be fake friends with people, you know? And my issues with Melissa and Joe actually like really have nothing to do with Teresa. But I don't want to be in an environment where like I have to put Teresa in a position where she needs to choose, because I would make her choose her brother anyway. Like I would literally opt out. And I feel like if I was on the show, this would really maybe affect her relationship and building it with Melissa and Joe. Having said that, I think the same thing about Margaret. Okay. Messy Margaret would come in there and like yap, yap, yap in their ear. And they want to stay true to Margaret because of all the secrets Margaret has on them. And they also want to be good to their sister-in-law. So do you see the conflicting decisions that people have to make?
Jennifer. Although I would have loved to see Margaret, because then I'm telling y'all, Trout Mouth Pinktails Margaret and News Nose Jennifer were my girls. Although I would love to see them come back to the show, I think that they don't need to be a part of the show, especially if Bravo is trying to move forward. I do like the fact that Jennifer said like once she started following all those blogs, her algorithm changed, and that can happen. And she probably is in a better space, probably doesn't want to be fake with Melissa and makeup when it doesn't serve her. And I think we might see Jennifer, especially on Ultimate Girls Trip, because they had a party in New Jersey and her and Dolores were there. And because Jennifer was smart enough to keep her relationship with Teresa, we might see her pop up on the new season of Real Housewives of New Jersey, make a little guest appearance here or there. But yeah, I mean, if they trying to move forward, they can't bring back everybody. But I believe that she got fired. And I feel like Jennifer is owning the fact that like, yeah, girl, if they asked me back, I probably would say no, but that didn't happen. I far more than Jackie, all right? But that's all I got for New Jersey. Tell me what y'all think about like the new cast that's allegedly supposed to be here. Like, do y'all think that this is going to be successful? Are you excited for Real Housewives of New Jersey? Let me know. So let's move over to our next show. So let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta, because they got a lot going on. Honestly, Miss Pinky Cole got a lot going on. Girl, I'm starting to feel like Pinky knew her life was about to hit a rough patch, and she said, you know what? I'm going to get paid for my pain. Because at the beginning of March, she's filing for Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Now we talking about one of her houses getting seized. Girl, is it that bad? Is the debt that bad? Like, Pinky, what's going on? Miss Pinky Cole, what's going on, Pinky Pink? What's going on? Then we got the back and forth between K. Michelle and Drew, which I don't know if I'm going to be really into that, but I have hopes because I think it is kind of like funny because they're unserious to me, and I don't think it's going to go to a dark place. And we need that. We need fun. we need fun, okay? So I think I talked about Pinky Cole when she filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy. I don't know if it was in my reaction video where we watched the trailer for Real Housewives of Atlanta season 17, or if it was the drama video, but I do think I talked about it. So the first week of March, Pinky Cole filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy. She posted this video poking fun at the situation and at people who are like, oh my gosh, she has no money. And she says, what people think happens after you file for bankruptcy. I'm not going to play the video, but basically she was leaving her house with her French bulldog underneath her arm. She had a suitcase, had on like a toboggan hat, and an oversized jacket because it was cold outside. I mean, it's cold now. Look at global warming. And so as she's leaving the house, she's walking past all her cars and like pretending to be sad, like she just got kicked out. And I thought it was kind of funny because I do like when people are able to laugh at themselves. And I was like, okay, she's making light of the situation. Maybe it's not that deep. You know, I started to read things about how a lot of businesses do file for bankruptcy when they can't make a profit anymore, or they need to like restart and reset. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. But then 2 days after that, so when she posted this video, this was on March the 3rd. On March the 5th, she shows up in this, she posts this video of her showing up looking like Miss Rachel. Mind you, shouts out to Miss Rachel. I don't have no kids, but that lady is a humanitarian. And I see why the kids love her, because she love everybody kids. Everybody kids matter to Miss Rachel. Okay, so shouts out to her. All right. So she's dressed up like Miss Rachel, and she's rapping about what Chapter 13 bankruptcy is. And then the song that's playing in the background is Soulja Boy Tell Him's beat. Or yeah, that's the name. Is it Soulja Boy Tell Him? dude. Yeah, it's Soulja Boy Tell Him's beat, okay? And I was like, okay, Pinky, it's getting corny. You getting corny, girl. Like, the first video was fine. Why are you still doing this? This is lame. I don't like it. And I'm like, Pinky, are you the type of girl that runs a joke into the ground? Because I can't stand them type of people. Like, I love when people can tell when the joke is over and we need to move on. But it's given that Pinky don't know how to let things go, and that's not a good sign when you're doing Housewives. Because some things you just have to let go, and some things you do have to drive home the point. But I thought, okay, we didn't hear anything else about this. She posted those 2 videos. She even did a video with Funky Dineva, and I was like, all right, we should be good to go. Girl, no. So then on the 24th of March, this was posted by TMZ, where it says exclusive. RHOA newbie Pinky Cole says her Georgia home was seized by a creditor. I said, girl, why did they take your home, Pinky? Why did they take your home? So let's get into that article. Y'all. So the link to this article will be in the description box below, but it says this: RHOA newbie Pinky Cole's Georgia home seized by creditor pleads for help in court. It says Real Housewives of Atlanta newbie Pinky Cole rushed to bankruptcy court after she claims a creditor seized one of her investment homes and changed the locks, TMZ has learned. According to court documents obtained by TMZ, Pinky says she owns a fancy property in Georgia, 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 2,814 square foot home in a city of Loganville, about an hour east of Atlanta. It says, as TMZ previously reported, Pinky, who is the founder of Slutty Vegan and several other businesses, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy earlier this year. Now, I'm a little confused by this because the article I think I remember reading said it was Chapter 13, and then she was rapping about Chapter 13, but maybe, I don't know. But we're going to continue on. It says, in the new filings, Pinky claims that after she filed for bankruptcy, Guardian Assets Management seized the Loganville home, placed a notice in the street-facing window, and changed the locks. Pinky says her lawyer tried to contact Guardian and explain their actions were improper since the bankruptcy filing paused any collection efforts. The RHOA star says the seizure is causing extreme financial harm because she needs to rent the property in order to bring in income, and says she has a prospective tenant with a lease set to start on April the 1st. The creditor has yet to formally respond. Pinky's lawyer, Jamie Christie, tells TMZ this was an investment property that was unlawfully seized from Ms. Cole. This unlawful seizure violates the automatic stay imposed in Ms. Cole's bankruptcy case. In other bankruptcy documents, Pinky states she owes millions in debt and is currently unemployed with basically no income aside from $15,000 a month her husband earns. Ooh, girl. How bad is the debt? Because I do think there's still slutty vegan restaurants like open. Now, the thing about it is, I have never tried slutty vegan, even when I was living in Alabama and the city I was living in was only like a 45-minute drive from Atlanta. Anytime me and my friends would go down to Atlanta, we were never getting vegan food. And it's not like I haven't had vegan food before. When I was in Hawaii, we went to a restaurant, the food was delicious. But when I found out that vegans don't eat cheese, I said, oh, I can't do this. I can't, because the way I love cheese, give me some sharp cheddar, especially some pepper jack. And then my dad put me onto this one cheese that you can get from Aldi's that's like garlic and red tomato. Oh my God, that's some good. I love me some good cheese, okay? I love me some good cheese. I like it fried. You know, I love me a good mozzarella stick or some Gouda balls. Ooh, with some fig jam, baby. So, like, I could never really be vegan. I couldn't do it. But I'm just like, what is going on with Miss Pinky Pinks? Because I have heard things about her before she got on the show. I heard about employees saying that she did not pay them, allegedly. I remember seeing the exposed videos about her. I heard about how she's not very kind to her workers, allegedly, as well as the situation that went down. I think it was at Spelman. Or maybe it was Morehouse. No, I think it was Spelman, because Slutty Vegan had an actual like spot in Spelman. Like if you're on college campuses, you know certain restaurants are there. I know at one of the colleges that I went to, we had Pizza Hut, McAllister's, Blimpie's, Chick-fil-A. We ended up getting like 2 other restaurants that I cannot remember. No, those were school restaurants, because we had Aggie Wings and something else. But they were like changing out different restaurants, but those were some of the name brand restaurants we had at my school. And then I know at my sister's school, they had Chick-fil-A, Salsaritas, um, I think Pizza Hut as well, Subway, and like several other like really big name brand places where, oh, we had Starbucks at my school too. We had, and so did she. She had several Starbucks. We had Starbucks. And I think they ended up getting a Panera Bread. But Slutty Vegan was one of the options. The issue that Slutty Vegan was having at Spelman was that their pricing was too high. I don't remember the pricing, but I remember people saying that like it was out of pocket to be at a college campus. And I do agree. Like you have, if that is true, you have to price your stuff accordingly to the area you're in. Students are not going to spend all their like, because I know at my school we had Aggie Bucks. Like when you pay for a meal plan, you got a certain number of money that you could swipe and stuff like that. If me getting just one meal is going to take like $30 away from my Aggie Bucks, I'm not eating there. And I think that's what was happening at Slutty Vegans. Like, if I pay like $15 for something at school with my like school money, that means I should get a drink and a side. Okay? I shouldn't be paying $15 and all I'm getting is a meal and no drink and no sides. So it seems like Pinky has made some decisions that have really negatively impacted her business. But this is kind of crazy that she's saying she unemployed and they living off her husband's salary. I mean, $15,000 a month ain't nothing to sneeze at. Like, that's some good earnings if you ask me. But I'm just looking at Pinky like, it's clear that you got on this show because you needed the money. And sometimes that doesn't bode well for the girls, especially if you can't handle everyone talking about your business. And right now, Pinky seems to be cool, but I don't know if she's going to be able to withstand, especially her going up against Angela. Like, girl, you messing with a fan favorite. I don't know if Angela is going to continue being a fan favorite, but a lot of people like her. And I'm just like, ooh, girl, don't let nothing else come out, Pinky. And maybe you need to stop doing videos because those videos did not age well with now us finding out they season your properties. And if they did it unlawfully, I hope she's able to get back into it and all of that stuff. But, girl, I don't know. But let's move over to K, Michelle, and Drew.
What's up, guys? Editor Leah here. It looks like we have gotten an update to Pinky Cole's situation, and Miss Mamas was vindicated. The courts actually gave her back her property. So I want to get into this article that was released by WSB TV to Atlanta. I also linked below the article. So let's get into it. So it says this: I feel vindicated. Pinky Cole says she's happy to get her home back after creditors seized. It goes on to say it was a major win for Pinky Cole as a judge ordered creditors to return over her home they seized from the Slutty Vegan restaurant founder. I feel relieved that the courts gave me authority to reclaim my property, Cole told Channel 2's Audrey Washington on Thursday afternoon. According to court filings, Cole owns $1.2 million to the U.S. Small Business Administration and $192,000 to the Georgia Department of Revenue. Girl, so she didn't pay her taxes? This is what this is giving. Okay. Let's continue on. It says there are several reasons why people file for bankruptcy. The most important one is to get back to status quo. Usually when something is happening like a foreclosure or a lawsuit or filing bankruptcy will stop all of that, attorney Skylar Elliott said. But recently, creditors Guardian Assets Management seized a Loganville home owned by Cole. It says Washington was the only reporter in the federal courtroom on Thursday as Cole's attorneys argued the Guardian's actions violated the automatic stay and the Guardian must return the property to the debtor. The judge agreed and ordered that the locks be changed and the property be returned back to Cole. I really do hope that this is a lesson to creditors who brazenly violate the automatic stay and harm debtors because this was not right. But I feel vindicated and I'm happy to have my property back into my possession, Cole said. I'm just happy to get back what is mine, so today is a good day. According to bankruptcy experts, Cole's attorneys are expected to present a bankruptcy plan to the courts in the coming days. So, congrats to Pinky. I said before I had to hop in here that if this was something that was done illegally, I was hoping she was getting her stuff back. And clearly she is. So, that's good for her. But I do hope with the season airing next Sunday that we get more information as to what is truly going on with Pinky. Because right now it's feeling like she's filing bankruptcy because she didn't pay her taxes. Not that she was making bad business decisions, but that is a bad business decision if you don't pay your taxes. I don't know what's going on with Miss Pinky Cole, but at least she has a win with this one. All right. So let's talk about K Michelle and Drew Sidora. So Angela, Phaedra, and K Michelle were on the Sherry Shepherd show, and Sherry Shepherd ended up asking about the back and forth or the beef that's brewing or what we're going to see between K Michelle and Drew. And Kay, in her K fashion, she shaded the girl. And it was some good shade. It was light shade in the sense of like it wasn't deep or dark, but it was very surface level, and I giggled at it, okay? So this is coming from Mr. Housewives, and it says this. K. Michelle throws shade at Drew Sidora, says their music careers aren't even in the same league, and they're not. Like what K. Michelle was, that's sometimes the best shade is when it's real and when it's factual. Their singing careers are nowhere in the same league. K. Michelle has released multiple albums. VSOP still gets a play out of me. Like, the lady was singing at the CMTs. She sung on the BET Awards. I think low-key, has she sung at the Grammys? I know she sang at several awards shows. They not the same. Drew just released her first album. But let me play the clip for y'all, okay?
Yeah, we got to talk housewives over here, okay? In the trailer, you were having issues with fellow housewife Drew Sidora. Now, what's going on? Why y'all can't get along? What's happening?
I can't say a lot, but I can say it's not for what people think it is or what she would hope it would be about.
Okay.
She would hope it would be about music, but I don't fight about music, when something doesn't compare, so it wasn't that. But no, honestly, I travel all over the world, I work, platinum, gold records, all type of stuff. One thing I'm not gonna do is fight about music. So
Okay.
I think people think that that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, we got to talk housewives.
Look, I try to support all the beginners in music.
Damn, my good sister.
No, I'm just being honest.
What is going on? Okay.
No, I'm being honest.
That is not fair.
We got
I'm on the floor. Chicago, stand up. I'm from Chicago. Drew is from Chicago.
But that's your friend.
That's my girl.
How do you say neutral?
That is my girl. I love Kay. Kay and
was good at that.
I love Kay. I love
Definitely good
Drew.
at
But Chicago, we got to stand up, Sherry. Come on.
Oh my God.
You making the city look bad. We good.
I'm gonna just ask this. I got to
But
watch
it's not
out.
about music.
It's not about music.
We got to go deeper than music.
It's deeper than music.
Look, I try to support all the beginners.
How you gonna say neutral? Because let me tell you something about me and my best friend, Niecy Nash. If something happened with me, she ready to fight everybody. I don't know how you stand.
You will see that Drew and Kay are, something you won't want to miss.
Well, I'm not
You
gonna
will
miss.
not want to miss.
Miss Shady Boots over here.
Okay.
Like,
Someday,
look at y'all, ladies.
A real
thank you.
talent.
Dude, I'm not even gonna get off this
She
floor.
can't even get off the floor.
I can't even get off the floor, y'all.
baby.
Now,
Thank
Drew
you
has
for being
movies. Drew has talent.
Movies that no one really knows of.
No, that's not true.
Oh, we got it. Okay,
That is
y'all.
not true.
How you gonna say about
I
me?
thought it was funny. I did. It wasn't too shady. I love the fact that Angela was like, Chicago, stand up. Angela, I do think, does a good job of, even though two people are beefing, she can support both of them, because it wasn't like she was coming at K. Michelle, but she was like, girl, not too much on my girl, not too much. But I love me some K. Michelle. And I love how Sherry was like, Niecy Nash is my girl, and she be ready to fight about me. Angela, how you gonna do with Drew? She was like, I love Kay, but she was like, Drew can hold her own, and Chicago stand up. Also, the truth of the matter is, K. Michelle spoke facts. She did. Drew is a beginner. Like, I'm not about to compete with somebody who doesn't compare to me. But since their beef didn't start off because of the music or isn't about the music, I do wonder, like, what happened? Did Drew started with Kay? Did Kay started with Drew? Is somebody stirring the pot and pitting them against each other? I am really invested. I wanna see. Well, when I say invested, I want to see what starts all of this. I mean, I'm not really the biggest fan of, like, either person in the sense of like I'm not a stan for them. I do like them to an extent. So it's like I don't really have a dog in this fight, because it also doesn't seem like they are going to get gutter with each other, which I think is also great for the show. But yeah, I am like, okay, so if it's not about the music, then what really happened? Is it about Black? The man Drew supposedly dating or not dating? Because you married, Kay. So it can't be about, but like, what's going on? Like, what is truly going on? So Drew responded back to all of this on Twitter, and she said this: to all the beginners out there, keep going. I'm living my dream and preparing for my first Live Nation tour. Tickets are live. So congrats. So congrats to Drew. You know, like, if she's living her dream, she's living her dream. Like, but she couldn't even shade K. Michelle because, girl, you are a beginner. Like, it is what it is. But I am interested again to see like what caused the rift between them. And is it mendable? Because I feel like if it's not that deep, by the end of the season, or at least at the reunion, they'll probably be cool. And maybe we might get a joint song together. Something to jazz us up a little bit. So okay. I was about to talk about Real Housewives of Miami, but we have to do a quick little chat about Andy and Sarah Marie Gellar. I hope I'm saying her Buffy. That's how I know this lady. Buffy, and she was Daphne in the Scooby-Doo live action movies. So she was on Page 6, like the two guys that do virtual reality tea, and she was asked if she was enjoying Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and she said no. And Andy got on his show, Radio Andy, and had a fit. Like, I was like, Andy. So let me play what she said, and then I'll play Andy's response.
The House of Beverly Hills?
Yes.
Are you loving this season?
No.
Oh, really? What's wrong? Share your notes, please.
In fact, I did. I told it. I think it's boring.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I mean, I like the cast. Like, I love Rachel. I think Rachel's a great addition. I love Bose. Like, I think it's a great, I mean, I live for Kathy and Jen. Like, I want a spinoff. I want a Jen Tilly, Kathy Hilton spinoff. It's slow.
It is slow.
It's just picking up now.
Yeah. And what do you think of Amanda Francis as a newbie? How do you, because I feel like she's a bit polarizing this season.
I don't think she's polarizing. I still think anyone enjoys her.
That's true. She's not polarizing. She's manifesting.
Yeah.
Manifesting what?
Chanel backpacks? Not sure. Yeah, Chanel backpacks.
I want to clarify. Like, I'm sure she's a very lovely person. If you choose to go on this show, then you have to be ready to open yourself up and be honest. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like she missed that.
Yeah, I don't think she's clocking it, because also when she was like, I don't know why we're at a table and there's conflict. I'm like, have you seen?
Like, have you ever watched an episode? Right? Like,
Page 6 Radio interviewed Sarah Michelle Gellar.
I saw this. It was right after she was on our show. Yeah, she was like, yeah, I like it. And then she went on their show and she was like, no. And it was in our studio. And then they post it. And it's like, Sarah Michelle Gellar hates the Housewives of Beverly Hills, with all this Radio Andy signage everywhere. And I go, you know what? Don't bring someone into my studio to trash my show. Right. How about the door is locked when I leave? How's that? So, you know, maybe think twice about posting that all over social media, where it says like Andy everywhere behind SMG.
So on one hand, I can understand Andy's frustrations of like, girl, you were in my studio and I asked you, did you enjoy it? And you basically said, yeah. But then you go to their studio and you're like, no, you don't like it. And then I also can understand him being frustrated that Radio Andy was in the background because of branding. But like, he blew this out of proportion, in my opinion. I think Andy is struggling with the fact that people are really not vibing with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Like, there are some people who are enjoying it, but overall the consensus is the show is boring. The show is not giving what they expected it to give or want it to give. So he has to be okay with that. I think he might be dealing with a lot, because I'm like, her opinion wasn't that harsh, nor was it disrespectful. And his response is like, it's too filled with attitude. Like, calm down, Andrew. Like, chill, Andy. Like, it's not that deep, bro. But I think he might be stressed with the backlash of what's going on with Real Housewives of Miami, because a lot of people are upset that show was going on pause. And he's also talking about how Housewives is a ratings game, and a lot of the shows that we enjoy are not doing well in ratings. But yeah, the attitude was too much. You need to calm down. And I can see him having her on Watch What Happens Live and apologizing, because everyone is like, Andy, it wasn't that deep. Are you having a bad day? Is the children getting on your nerves? Because the response gave very much a like, who pissed in your Cheerios this morning? Okay? It wasn't that deep. All right, y'all. So last show to discuss Real Housewives of Miami. And like I said, maybe Andy is a little touchy, a little haughty because of everyone coming at him about Real Housewives of Miami being put on pause. So this was posted by Variety on March the 18th, and it says this: Bravo is hitting pause on the Real Housewives of Miami amid low ratings. While the series remains a fan favorite among devoted Bravo viewers, it's currently ranked as the lowest watch installment in the Real Housewives franchise, which is crazy to me, because to me, Real Housewives of Miami is what we asked for in these new reality shows, or real specifically really new Real Housewives shows. You have characters with really big personalities, different and things of that nature. You have actual personal stories. We watch Gertie deal with bouts with cancer. Martina, cancer ended up coming back. Julia adopting them children. You have people's parents passing away. Lisa lost her father. Alexia lost her mother. You have her getting a divorce. Lisa dealing with Lenny and her divorce. Like, it was so much going on. And it was real. We had friendships that spanned at least like a decade. And there was real wealth there. And people who were really tied into the city. So I don't understand why Miami is the lowest rated franchise when they give us substance. Like, I just feel like they should have just left it on Peacock, because I don't remember anybody having problems with this show when it was on Peacock. And one thing that I've always irritated me about Real Housewives of Miami is the way that Bravo promotes this show. They don't promote it. Like, when they brought that show back onto like television, they put it right after Beverly Hills. People, I guess, were not watching it and were watching something else. Then they shifted it from that day to another day. It was too much movement and they never promoted it. So I'm just irritated. And I kind of felt like something was going to happen, because a week before that, this was reported by Page Six, saying Page Six reports Gertie, Julia, and a third cast member, which will take fans by surprise, are on the chopping block. Stephanie is not sold on returning for another season. Production is trying to figure out what to do with Alexia after Todd's lawsuit. No filming dates have been set and contracts have still not been out. And this was posted on March the 6th. So they were already dealing with issues by trying to figure out what to do with the cast. I don't understand getting rid of Gertie, but I get getting rid of Julia. Ugh, you know? But I don't get why they had problems. The show was good. I don't get it. I don't get it. Once this information started to spread out all over social media, a few blog pages started posting the things like from their sources that they heard about what was going down. So I'm just going to read what Mad Beefs posted from Bravos and Cocktails. And most of the time, Bravos and Cocktails, I would say 7 out of 10 times the stuff that they post is factual, like it comes out to be true. The other 3 times, not so much. So, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. But it says this: Bravos and Cocktails is reporting that Gertie, Julia, Lisa, and Adriana were going to be fired before they decided to pause all of RHOM. So then in the screenshot, it looks like a DM conversation where this person is telling Bravos and Cocktails, yeah, it's not coming back anytime soon. And what's crazy is Lisa wasn't even going to be coming back for the next season. Her and Adriana were cut. And that's wild to me, because Adriana gave us the Haitian mortician. Okay? And all them stupid props. And you can't say that Adriana wasn't working. And then Lisa gave us everything about Lenny and her situation, her father passing away. Like, she gave us stuff. Gertie talked to us about her being an immigrant. She had cancer. She was open and honest about that. Like, her back and forth with Julia from last season. And then Julia. She told us about how, unfortunately, her son was taken from her issues with her daughter, her and Martina's marital issue. Like, she has those adopted children. They gave us stuff. So I'm confused why they would get rid of them. Because if you look at it, that if they really did get rid of them, all we would be left with is Marisol, Larsa, Alexia, Stephanie, and Kiki. And mind you, Kiki did give us something last season with her father and talking about how she was treated as a child. Larsa been giving us stuff, since season 4 with, her beefing with Nicole, then Lisa, her and Gertie beefing. So she kept up the mess. Alexia, her mom passed away, her and Todd getting a divorce. And then Marisol was just a friend of. She gave us the drinks, the alcohol, the vibes, and Stephanie just got here. Honestly, this is truly an ensemble cast. So I'm just like, just leaving us with those 5 would not cut it with you just adding new people there. So I don't get if that's really what they were going to do, why they would have thought that would work. And maybe they realized it wasn't going to work and they wanted to move the show in a different direction, but they didn't know how to. So they just was like, let's put it on pause so we can think this through even more. But I don't know. Honestly, what I think they're going to do is honestly scrap this whole entire cast and probably give us younger women. Maybe women like in their late 30s, early 40s, and then like a couple of people who are like on the cusp of 50, but or who are actually 50. I think they want Miami to be younger than what we got. Even though I feel like, well, if they are younger, are they going to have the wealth? And it's probably not going to be that way. But I don't get it. I really don't get it. Because Bravo did them a disservice because they never really promoted them. So we had that. We had people coming at Andy because people was upset. So this is coming from Jay's reality blog, and it says, Andy says hashtag RHOM will be back. Somebody messaged him on Thread saying, Andy's still super bummed about RHOM getting paused. They didn't deserve that. And Andy said, me too. It will be back though. He even was on Radio Andy talking about it. I'm going to play the clip for you guys in a minute, but it says this is a ratings game after all. Hashtag Andy Cohen says it was not his decision to put hashtag RHOM on pause. He is happy people are passionate about it and hopes people tell their friends to watch. So let me play that clip.
I got really misty on Saturday. I texted Lori Waring Peterson, and I texted all the producers from the...
It was the anniversary of the premiere date.
It was the anniversary of the premiere date.
That's cool.
Sherry Levine, Doug Ross, Alex Baskin, and Kathleen French. It's like, happy 20th anniversary. I mean, it's wild. It is wild that it's been 20 years. I did want to say, Housewives of Miami. There's so much...
Yeah, you got a lot of heat.
Talk about it. I did. I get the credit and I get the blame.
Right.
And I will say, this was not my decision. And by the way, look, I'm an EP on all these shows. If it was up to me, they would be rolling all the time. And it's better
canceled,
for me.
Right? It's just paused.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, John.
That happens a lot.
And frankly, I'm happy that people are so passionate about it. And I hope they tell their friends to watch. This is a ratings game after all.
Okay. I'm still irritated that they put this show on pause because it was one of my favorites, and it made it extra real when all the ladies, when I would say majority of the cast started posting farewell messages. Kiki was the first one to post. Then we got one from Alexia. Then Stephanie posted her farewell message. Then we had one from Marisol as well as Julia. So we haven't heard from Gertie. Well, so far Gertie hasn't really said anything, okay? Or Adriana, but Larsa and Lisa have been in the comments, talking and saying things and things of that nature. So I'm not going to read everybody's farewell statements, but I'll definitely feed them into the video so you can take a moment to pause and read for yourself if you would like to. But yeah, once they started posting the messages, I said, oh my gosh, this is real. Like, the girls are gone. Like, the girls are gone. So I found out that Larsa did say something, so I'll definitely feed that into the video portion where I'm just showing everybody making statements about the show not coming back. Even though Larsa made that statement, she definitely has been throwing shade and shots at the other housewife shows, and I've been tickled. So she got asked a question in her Insta story where someone was like, what are your thoughts on RHOM being paused? She says, not happy. Then they keep RHONY, which is terrible without the old cast members. And I would have to agree with her. I think it's kind of crazy that they're about to reboot a reboot season. So if you don't know, Real Housewives of New York is coming back, but they only kept Jessel, Sai, and Aaron. And then I think there's supposed to be like 4 or 3 new ladies around them. One of the ladies has already been outed on TikTok for being like a bully, like harassing people in their DMs about their body size and calling people fat. It just was it. When I tell you that lady started posting DMs of this lady being unhinged in her in her DMs. So that's kind of crazy to me. And I'm just looking at, look, I've only been to New York one time. And that was enough for me to know that's not my city. All right. But even being there one time for those 3 days, I realized that there's a lot of different people there where I'm just confused why they have not been able to tap in there or into that and have people of different cultures and races and ethnicities and just bring new life to this show. It's kind of trippy to me that they're unable to do that. So I don't know how the reboot season gonna be because it don't look eventful with the cast they got. I mean, I really do like Jessel, but everybody else, I'm like, and the show can't survive with just Jessel. You know? So I get what Larsa is saying. Then she threw shots at Dorit, but not really Dorit, but really at Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but more so to Dorit because Dorit the one with the problems. So I'll play the clip for you guys. But Dorit was on Watch What Happens Live and she was talking about her mortgage. So I don't remember what the full story is, but it seems as though PK or Dorit were not paying the mortgage. They didn't no. Okay, so I think the story was Dorit didn't know that PK stopped paying the mortgage. So now she's planning to move out of the house. And that was weird to me. And this is something that has always been weird to me since I started watching these shows a long time ago. Okay, when I was either in middle school or high school. Either way, it has never sat well with me when I see women solely relying on men and they don't know what is going on. I don't want that lifestyle. It would be nice for me to meet a man. He makes some good money, way more money than me. And I keep my job because I'm always going to have a job because I don't believe in it. You're not going to financially abuse me. Okay. But I keep my job, he pays for things, but I'ma know where that money going. It's always trippy to me when these women don't know, how much the water bill is, how much is electricity, how much the mortgage is. Do they need to pay a gardener? Do they need to pay the pool people to clean the pool out? Who does our recycling? When is the trash coming to pick up? Just to be in a house oblivious is weird to me. You're a doll. That's weird. You should know what's going on. Okay. I will never get over the fact that when Shannon and David divorced and she didn't know she had to pay for water, I'm like, Shannon, either you living in a third world country where you have to go get the water from the hole or pump it yourself, or you live in a country where you got to pay for the water to be pumped in your house. Either way, you got to do something to get the water. You either paying for it or you doing manual labor for it. But the fact that she didn't know that, I said, so do you not know how much you don't know how much it is? I don't want to ever be that kept. Yeah, give me some money that I don't have to do nothing for, but just look pretty and be cute. And you just give me, but I needs to know what's going on in this house. I'm too nosy for that. I needs to know where the funds is going. And the fact that Dorit didn't know that is weird to me. She didn't know he stopped paying. Girl, what you make? He's that vindictive, Dorit. I would have been I need to see all the financial documents. And if you keep playing with me, see what happened. I'll burn it down. Okay. But Larsa was in the comments on Virtual Reality Tees page where they reposted this clip of Dorit on Watch What Happens Live saying our RHOM mortgages are all up to date. Shady boots. But let me play the clip.
Sure.
Well, that is something that I learned a few weeks before everyone else learned. As we discussed at the reunion, it's something that, PK was in charge of. I didn't know. It was not being paid. We've since spoken, and he agreed to bring it up to date. And then we're going to put the house on the market, and the kids and I will, find a new home.
So that's what Larsa has been saying and doing on the internet streets when it comes to the pause. Now let's talk about Lisa. So Lisa was on Threads and she said this. Guys, RHOM is not canceled. Sure, it's paused temporarily, but there are a number of important factors about why this decision was made. Yes, there will be changes, but Miami isn't going anywhere. I said, that's all cute and all, Lisa, but are you supposed to be telling us this? And I wonder, what are the important factors? Is it them trying to get a younger demographic to watch the show in hopes of the ratings coming up? Or is it because of what's happening with our political climate? You can't have Real Housewives of Miami and they not talk about what's happening when it comes to the Latin and Hispanic population and the Caribbean population. Because let's call a thing a thing. Marisol and Alexia, we're going to have to address what's happening in Cuba. America's starving Cuba. People are like, they have been having blackouts because we are stealing. Well, it ain't we. Let me not say, because I'm not doing nothing, because I didn't vote for this. I didn't. But what's happening in Cuba is happening. Then you have, unfortunately, people in Florida being targeted, like the Haitian people, like Cubans. Everybody, if you look like you speak a different language, you getting locked up and kidnapped and put in a detention center. So if they were going to bring back Real Housewives of Miami, they were going to have to address that. And I don't know if them women was prepared to have those conversations. So maybe it's a good thing they're on pause. But I'm trying to figure out what else is important other than them wanting to have a younger cast. I don't know. So then they caught Lisa in the comments on another blog page that posted Alexia's farewell message. And so this is coming from Mad Beefs, and it says this: Lisa with another statement about RHOM not being canceled. So she said this in the comments: it's not getting canceled. There definitely will be changes. That's all I'm going to say. And I said, okay, girl. I mean, but the streets are saying they was getting rid of you, but you saying there's going to be changes. So maybe, I don't know. Do you think that they would bring, like, so here's the thing. I could see them bringing Lisa, maybe Gertie. So, no. Let me think about this for a minute. So, if this is just me, if I was trying to keep the cast, I guess, youthful in a sense, I would actually bring back Larsa and Lisa only. And the reason being is, although Larsa is of a particular age, I think Larsa is almost 50 years old, she still be dating men in their like 20s and 30s. Well, 30s. They're in their 30s. I'll give her that. They're not in their 20s, in their 30s. So it still kind of gives like, she still likes to have fun, turn up, and be at the clubs and all of that stuff. So does Lisa. And then you could kind of bring in Lisa, bringing in like Gertie and Adriana as like friends of, and then you could have Marisol and Alexia and Kiki be friends of Larsa, but then have a brand new cast curated like around them. That I feel like would keep up the spice and the zest of the show, because you would still have faces that are familiar, but those women give like young and fun to me. So does Kiki. I don't know if I would make Kiki full time. I don't know, because I feel like Kiki would have the Marlo effect, become full-time, and then everybody gonna hate her. So I would keep her as a friend of, and then have other women that are around like their mid-30s, I would say early 40s, mid-30s, and then you sprinkle in like maybe one lady that's in their 50s, and we go from there. Okay? So lastly, let's talk about Stephanie. So Stephanie made a comment on Threads as well, saying this: it's kind of mind-blowing to see how many RHOM fans are speaking up about the pause. It makes me wonder if that many people were watching, how were the ratings so low? And I agree, because I saw people watching Miami, and maybe it was just like my algorithm. My timeline was always flooded with people talking about Miami, because the people that I follow like Miami, so that could be biased, you know? But like whenever they would drop a Miami promo, people would get excited. So it's just so surprising that online behavior, well, you know what, I can't even say that's surprising, because it happens with the whole stan wars. Like, an artist will have like a strong fan base online, and then when they drop music, it's not cracking over like 5,000 like, units sold, so maybe that's the same thing that's happening with Miami. People are gassing it up online, but they're not taking the time to actually watch the show when it comes out or on Peacock. So it was actually kind of surprising to me that Anna Conquesos, or Conquicos, however you say her last name, was in the comments saying, finally, I beg the question, does it finally analytic thinking? So I guess Anna is like agreeing with So Anna is agreeing with Stephanie that like something's not making sense, because so many people are upset about this pause, but yet they're saying the viewership is down. I don't know. I really don't know. And I'm frustrated. Okay, I'm really frustrated. But yeah, y'all, that's all I got for today. Definitely hop down in the comments and share your thoughts with me. Like, let me know what you think about the stuff that I shared about Real Housewives of New Jersey, Real Housewives of Potomac, Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Andy going back and forth with Sarah for no reason, as well as what I just shared with you guys with Real Housewives of Miami. Okay, As always, remember to be bravely authentic. Definitely hop down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, hype me up if you can, and I'm out, y'all. Deuces.